Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes show. I'm Richard Vobes, and you're not. And already the studio is falling to bits. One moment, whilst I just repair my microphone. Let me just move that in just a bit closer. There we go. Can you hear me at the back? Are you receiving me loud and clear? I hope so. Hello, my microphone's just had a little moment here. I think the cradle is the little cradle is a little bit wonky. Never mind, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Just me tonight. Unfortunately, the lovely Julia couldn't be with us because there's been an accident, a fatality on the roads near Shoreham, which has meant that her dear husband has been stuck in traffic and unable to get home in order so that Julia herself can get in the car and come here. And there's no point me going back there to pick her up because it means that I'll have two of her children here and her, and it would be bedlam, and then it still wouldn't work. So it's just me. Sorry about that. And I think I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I shall be on the gin this evening, the clear and odourless, alcohol-free gin. This is out the tap, don't you know? Southern Water very kindly are sending the gin down the tap. As I say, odourless and free from any alcohol, 100%. So cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And also, can you hear me? And are you all there? That's the most important thing. Now, also, on the show tonight, I do have the children. We've got the children in. Here they are. We have the mini-me's, if you like. This is the mini-me and mini-Julia. And there they are. Mini Vobes and Mini the lovely Julia. And they are here to take your questions. So if you've got any questions, please put them to the children. All right? So that would be absolutely fantastic. Who have we got out there? We've got Linda Kane. Hello to Linda Kane. We have Lara. We have D for Bricks. We have the lovely Julia. We have Mr. Great Plum. Hello, Matthew. Hope you're well. Dean Cooper is also out there. We have Judith. Hello to Judith. Nigel Sadler says good evening. Solo tonight. Yes, that's it. Andy Stacey says good evening. Good evening to you, Andy. We have Mariette Genealogy says hello. Hello to you, Squire. Nice to see you. Gargle with TCP. It is in my throat and also sort of at the roof of my nose. I must get some TCP. I'll try and get some tomorrow. I'm out early in the morning. So Julia says that she is sad that she can't make it, which is a bit of a shame. Robert Croser says, surely you can manage on your own. Yes, I am Shawley. Don't call me Shawley in public. That's just my little private pen name. The salty, the salty, he's changed his name now to Salty, isn't he? The salty train spotter. No, it used to be Sally. The salty train spotter and bell ringer says, evening, can't stay long as I am planning my ringing outing. Well, don't forget when you go on your outing, when you come back, you may have to wring out your clothes if it's been raining. Bung it through a mangle, that's what I would do. Do you remember Mrs. Mangle? What television programme was Mrs. Mangle in? There's a prize. Yes, it's a surprise. Actually, if you get that right, I'll be amazed if you get that. Which TV I'll give you a clue. It was a soap. Which soap was it? Now, I'm not talking about Daz. No, it wasn't that one. And it wasn't Lifebuoy. That's another soap, but different kind of soap. The lovely Julia says a fatality. She's told that's something that's happened in Shoreham this evening. Patrick Rose says, alcohol on tap. I'm moving to Worthing. Yeah, we get it in the sea, you know. It floats across from France. Many, many years ago, there was a galleon, a Spanish galleon. It was overrun by the French, and it was bringing over a lot of port and whiskey. Not so much whiskey, actually, because that's from Scotland. But it was bringing over a lot of drinks, and one of those things was gin. And it sunk. And only recently in the news, you may have heard about this, the galleon that was sitting under there in the English Channel, the wood has rotten and the caskets that hold the gin just now float up to the surface. You've got to be there nice and early in the morning. That seems to be the time when they plop up. And what you do is you nip down to the beach and you bring one of these contrabands aboard. And it's whiskey for the parson or it's gin out the tap for the Southern Water lot. So, which is great. Francesco Bellringer is doing his maths. I've asked him what the square root of -1 is. So he's going to consult a friend of him, Einstein, who knows a few things, which will be great. You can smell the TCB in the sideboard. I don't have a sideboard, Robert Croser. I just don't own one. That's very much an old-fashioned thing. Who has a sideboard in their house? Put your hands up if you've got a sideboard. Be very interested to know how many people actually have a sideboard. And also, how many people still have a radiogram? Maybe we have advanced, some of you, but I'm imagining. Patrick Rose has got it right. Neighbours. Who can sing the theme to Neighbours? It was an Australian programme, I think by Ted Grundy, wasn't it? Neighbours. Everybody loves their nosy neighbours, especially when you punch 'em in the morning. Then you go and strangle them at night. Something like that, because they're always like at each other's throat, weren't they? And if I remember rightly, one of the cast members of Neighbours got onto the locomotion and did it with her. She got onto the locomotion and did it with me. And another one had Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, Stephen Musco says, I mean the Neighbours. Oops, what's he talking about? I don't know. It's going very quick. Robert Croser says, Mark, please don't. I'm not quite sure what Robert's on about. D for Brick says, me and you, Richard, live quite close. Yes, we do. We live on the same island. Isn't it amazing? It's a bit of land surrounded by water. And how lovely that is. It is lovely. Very nice. Mark Selwood says, sorry, Robert, when I start something. What's Mark been up to? That's what I want to know. Mark down there in Cornwall. It's beautiful, Richard, isn't it? Isn't it? It'd be lovely. Linda Kane has got her hand up. I'm not quite sure what they mean, but I'm very pleased to see it. George's Railways has got his hand up. We have... Oh, put your hand up. Oh, yes, that's right. I did say, didn't I? Silly me. I can't remember. You see, the trouble with me, ladies and gentlemen, is I open my big fat gob, the flappy mouth, as the lovely Julia would say, and words tip out. Half the time, I have absolutely no idea what is coming out of my gob. It is another form of a stream of consciousness that happens. This is the visual version of it. I do a podcast as well. So there we go. Where's Kevin? Says D for Bricks. Yes, where is Kevin? I think Kevin is working hard at the moment. Not quite sure where. He's preparing himself. The lovely Kevin. Hello, Richard. Kevin here. Hello, Kevin. Kevin is going to be outside that door in my hallway very soon, working extremely hard to repair my, well, actually, it's not so much repair, but to paint and redecorate my hallway. It's very nice of him. He's charging something called mates rates. I believe what you do is you think of a number and you double it and then multiply by 10. I think that's how it works. He told me this morning, don't worry, Richard, I've gone and got the paint. Oh, good. Have you got some nice cheap stuff from Wickes? No, not from Wickes, Richard. No, it's from Johnson's. It's the most expensive paint you'll ever possess. It's gold leaf paint. I'm doing it all in gold leaf. And I thought, what a relief. Because that would be nice. It'll be a bit sparkly, won't it, up there in my hallway. So there we go. Glenn Johnson is out there. Hello, Glenn. How are you? Now, we must pin down a date to go out and do some filming. I know we keep sort of pussyfooting about, and it's all my fault. I appreciate that. But we will. I just need to get myself a biker jacket and be one of those biker mice from Mars, and I'll be all right. So we must pin a date down. That will be good. The Salty Train Spotter says, neighbours, neighbours. Oh, yes, that's very good. D for Bricks is saying hi, George. HW100. Excuse me. Opportunity knocks. What is he saying? He's saying, oh, hello. Is he saying, oh, he's saying hello, Richard. That's it. It's very good. Nigel Sadler's got a cheeky face on, which is nice. We're going to see a bit of Nigel Sadler in today's show. He is walking to work. He's sent in a little bit of blurb. He also sent some photographs, but we won't be seeing those today because the lovely Julia was so sad that she couldn't be in today's show. She said, I must be in a show. I must. Here she is, look. Oh, Richard, I must be in the show. You mustn't do a show without me.
Don't worry, darling. I'll do a show with you anytime.
Oh, that's so kind of you, Richard. I really couldn't cope.
Don't worry about it, darling. You can be in my show anytime.
That is how they talk, apparently, when they're not on camera. So that's an exclusive. Anyway, what was going on to say was,
Richard, can't you do a show on Friday? Yeah, darling, I'll do a show on Friday. You can come in, you can bring that little baby of yours if you like, I don't mind. We'll do some sort of show. Who knows? That'll be lovely, Richard. That's so nice.
Neighbours, everybody loves their nosy neighbours. Give 'em a whack in the morning, throttle them late at night. Yeah, that's pretty much the plot line there of Neighbours. Technical difficulties, says Francis Bellringer. That's because he's trying to work out the square root of -1. My boy, says Andy Stacey, will be watching this morning. Can you tell him he is how to change his nappies? His name's Kyle. Yes, can you tell him he's too old. Oh, Kyle, now listen to me, Kyle. Now listen up, okay? Open up your eyes, get your ears open, and your mouth shut. That's it. Good boy, Kyle. You are too old for nappies. How old is Kyle? I'd like to know. Kyle, don't do that. No picking of your nose whilst you're watching the Vobes show. Thank you. The lovely Julia says, I inherited a sideboard. I inherited from my maternal grandmother. It was a running joke for decades among her children that the least favourite them would inherit the sideboard. And yet the lovely Julia actually wanted it. So there we go. That's nice, isn't it? A sideboard is always good. Somewhere to put the kids when you don't want them. Lock them in. Doing his daughter's bathroom, I believe. Oh, is that where Kevin Hall is? That's marvellous. Got to keep him busy. Keep him in practice. Oh, cool, Richard. I can't wait to see the new painted wall. Well, we could do a show called Watching Paint Dry. We could do, but we're not. That'll be more interesting than the Vobes show. Julia Hartley is laughing her socks off, which is always good. Nigel Sadger said it was Daniel. What was Daniel? That's what I want to know. HW100 says, you were in my neck of the woods near Woking. Yes, poking about on Horsell Common only the other day. And tomorrow, in the video, the lovely David Chown and I go to Pirbright. That's Pirbright, Pirbright. There's a church there, and I expect my lovely bell ringers, will be able to tell me exactly. I can't remember the name of the church now, but it's one with a tower, and it's got bells in it. So perhaps you could tell me how many bells has it got, and has it got any from hell? The hell's bells. That's what I want to know. So whilst they're quickly going to their book of bells, I bet there is a book. Is there a book? I think somebody mentioned that the bell ringers have a book that you can consult and tells you how many bells, what their weight are, when they were last polished, and if they go like the clappers. And if you have a book of that, can you tell us what it's called, please? That would be absolutely fantastic. I clearly need to get a copy of that book. Jeff Kellison says, I thought you were imitating your favourite Yank. Yeah.
Hello, Richard.
I daren't imitate my favourite Yank. Talking of my favourite Yank, actually, you may notice behind me, if I move my big head out the way, hang on, which way is it? Can you see here, ladies and gentlemen, there, only yesterday, was it yesterday? Only yesterday when I was something and lonely, you told me something about don't you sing on the show. Oh yeah, that's right, you did. Actually, I can't sing on the show because what might happen is we might get blocked for copyright reasons. That's why I'm changing all the words, you see. Does Jeff sound like John Wayne?
Hello, Richard. Get off your horse and drink your milk.
Yeah, that is actually how Jeff is a big trucker. He is a big, burly trucker with great big muscles, probably a lovely beard and one of those waxy moustaches. And as he's hurtling down through the fog at 30 miles an hour, his waxed moustache is probably quivering. That's how I imagine it. I also imagine that he's got some of that like Hell Ranger long hair, silver long hair, as he's going along, imagining that he's got the engine of Tonto. Is it Tonto? Who was the Lone Stranger? You know, the Lone Ranger. Come on, Tonto. Kim O'Savvy. That was his name, wasn't it? I don't know why he kept calling him Kim O'Savvy. Come on, O'Savvy.
Kim O'Savvy.
That was a strange old program. Francesca Spell. Oh, hang on, Francesca. Hang on, Fred. You'll have to say. Hang on, I just can't get me. I'm trying to get the. Can you tell me what that name of the book was? Because I've lost. Oh, can I go up? I can't go up. I can't go down. Can't do anything. I'm trying to get the. Where did you go? Don't make him cry. Oh, you didn't mention the book, have you? Not really. D for bricks 2. Oh, here we are. -1. The square root equals 1. Is that right? Okay. How are you, Mark? It says, what's his name? In the church, yes, I am. Howdy, partners. Dean Cooper. Hello, Dean. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Ali Nicole. Hello, Ali. Nice to see you. How are you, mate? How's the old refereeing going? Ali's a referee, I think in Wales, but he may do it all over the place. I'm not quite sure. But he's very good at blowing his whistle. And I hope you haven't been replaced by all this stupid technology that now, that shows you a flashback before the flash has even happened. That's good. Darren Robert Dendy says, tally-ho, Richard, tally-ho! It's all very exciting, isn't it? Lovely Julia says the horse was called Silver. Oh yes, Hi Ho Silver. Hi and Kimo Savvy. Was that the native? I've got to get this right. The native Indian who was the Lone Stranger's friend. Didn't the Lone Ranger have the William? Did they use the William Tell Overture? How does that go? Can somebody sing the William Tell Overture to me, just so I can dun 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 dun.
That's right. That's how it went, girl. How's it going, Julia?
Yeah, it's going all right, thanks. I'm gonna go in the kitchen and cook up some pancakes.
Oh, I'm so pleased about that. You go. Whoops-a-daisy. You go and get the pancakes. Oh, she's fainted. Must be my beautiful face. It happens, them dames, they look at me, my beautiful face, and there she is keeled over. What can I say? I'm going to the chop house.
It sounded more like W.C. Fields. Dean Cooper says he's good. J. Silverheels. Oh, right. I thought it was Kimo Savvy, but there we are. Thank you, Robert. Lovely George's Railway says, I think it is. Neighbours. Oh, Neighbours. Darren Robert Dandy must be on an earlier part of the show when we were talking about Neighbours. Dean Cooper says, thank you, and a big hello to you on the Vobes show. Thank you very much. Al Nicole says, yes, Richard, referee in Wales and a good blower. No new technology. Oh, that's good to know. Just knowledge. It's always good to have that knowledge. All is well, and I hope is well with you. What I was trying to get to was my lovely American has sent. You see that up there? That is a neon sign. I happened to mention in one of the shows. I have to be careful what I say because my lovely favourite American Yankee Doodle, Mr. Dandy, has I just happen to say the odd things like could do with a new neon sign that says the Vobe show, and it's like having a fairy godmother. Poof. No, not saying that the fairy godmother's a poof. I didn't mean that. No, but poof, by magic, all of a sudden these things just appear. They absolutely do. It's incredible. You do not believe. I have to say, Jeff, you are an amazing man, and we love you dearly. We really do. What is Ali saying? He says, yes, Richard, referee. I've done that. Francisco Belcher, St. Michael's Church in Purbright. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. News coming straight in. News straight in from St. Michael's Church in Purbright in Surrey has 6 bells, 9 hundredweight. CWT, that's hundredweight, isn't it? I seem to remember, not sure if it's correct, in G, ring from the ground floor. In G. Is that on a G string? Do you remember the Hamlets adverts? Was it Hamlets? Dum, 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 da 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 dum. Something like that, wasn't it? And then something went wrong, and they had to Hamlets. What was it? The something cigar from Benson and the mild cigar. That's right, the mild cigar from Benson and Hedges. Yes, there we are. You set a few hedges alight, actually, when you smoke those things. I think they were just rolled up out of old hedges, out of old beech hedges. You know the beech hedges where the leaves hang on? Yeah, that's what I think that's all about. Lovely Julia says, Jeff, that's interesting. Well, hang on. Jeff Kellison says the writer for the Lone Ranger show, their parents owned a resort in the Great Lakes, and the name of the resort was Chemo Savvy. There we are. Oh, Chemo Savvy. Oh, I didn't realise he had cancer, did he? And all his hair fell out and he had to go to hospital and have Chemo Savvy. Well, you know, it can happen to anybody, can't it? I do feel sorry for him. Imagine having that Chemo Savvy treatment. Poor old chap. Well, thanks for that, Jeff. That's really, that's interesting. I always thought it was Chemo Savvy, but it's chemo. See? Chemo Savvy. Nice. Well, he was a savvy old bloke, wasn't he? I have to say. But did they use the William Tell overture, or am I just making that up? Who knows? Lara says another neon sign in the studio that people will make the mistake. Well, there are three here. You see, we've got Go On Air. We've got the Vobe Show there, and on the right hand side, you can't really work out what that is, but at no expense, ladies and gentlemen, it's all gone very blue. Does that help? Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Can you see it now? It is actually a very lovely purple flower with a green stem. The only thing is, what I hadn't factored in when I said, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a neon sign, is that they're too bright for the camera. If I turn all the lights off, of course, then you can see it. Or I can do this. I don't really want to, but I can do this. Hang on a minute. Hang on. I can do this. And now, doesn't that look nice? It's just that you can't see me, which is probably the best thing that has happened. There we go. Is that too bright? I think that's too bright now. Hang on. Something like that. There we go. So that's quite amazing, isn't it? So I need to get some ND filter gel. I've looked up a place. I found a place now. It's about £39 for a roll of about 2 meters, maybe 3 meters if I'm lucky, which would be more than enough. And I need to get the densest one I can possibly get, so that actually we can see them in the proper colours, because at the moment it's just got some blue gel, you see. Do you have room for the night, Governor, says Mark Selwood. Yes, room for the night. Yes, you're welcome to come over, Mark. You must come over. When can you come over, Mark? Richard, I could come over any time, Richard. It's beautiful, isn't it, in Worthing? Isn't it? It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's beautiful in my house. If you come after the weekend, you'll see that there's been some improvements. The lovely Kevin Hall is painting the hallway. In fact, you could come whilst he's painting the hallway and say, Kevin, you're beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? Robert Croser says Jeff is the American Elaine Brazier. Yes, that's right. Jeff is actually Elaine Brazier. We've never met Elaine Brazier, and as so far we've not met Jeff Kellison. They could be one and the same, for all we know. These are some of the marvellous top star patrons who look after the Vobes show, which I have to say I'm very thrilled about. There's lots of things. Richard, Glenn Johnson says, yes. Glenn, Richard, you say you want a bit of woodland. You never know. Yeah, oh yes, that's true. All I need, I don't know if the fairy godmother's listening, I just need a nice, about, 5 acres, 10 acres of wood, 40 acres of woodland, a bit of English woodland. It's about £100,000, but, a bit of woodland so that I can continually get logs for the Essie. Yeah, I think there's the you're pushing your luck button. I think I've been pushing my luck a long time, to be fair. Francesco says, G major scale, I'll help you. Balcombe is in the A, so a bit lighter. Well, it was a bit light in Balcombe. You didn't need a torch up there at all. So that was very good. Thanks for that. Gosh and Dash says, good evening from Gordon and Dawn in Shropshire. First time seeing the live stream. Well, let me say, Gosh and Dash, it's so lovely to see you all the way up there in the lovely part of Shropshire. What part of Shropshire are you in? Are you up near Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury, as some people like to pronounce it? Or are you down there in Ludlow, or Ludlow, as other people sometimes like to pronounce it, which would be very silly because I don't think I've heard anybody pronounce it like Ludlow, but you never know. Who was it who posted? I think it was Grace. Wasn't it Grace? Our lovely Grace and her mum, who went to Ludlow Castle the other day on the Board Explorer and posted some fantastic pictures. They were marvellous. I don't know if Grace is watching, but if you are, hello to you. Mark Selwood says, Mrs., you're after a naked Englishman, Robert. Oh, what? Stay steady. Evening, Gordon and Dawn. Welcome to the Vobes show, says the lovely Julia. This is just like an interaction, chilly chat show. A silly chilly chat show. Let's just go back to the children here and make sure they're all right. All right, kids?
Yeah, we're all right. All right, darling.
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I'm looking forward to the rest of the show.
Don't know why.
No, thanks for that. It's the bright one, says Glenn Johnson. Yeah, okay. Francesco says the book you were talking about is called Dove's Guide. Oh, this is the book of the Bell Ringer's Bible. The website is more accurate and free because the entries are regularly updated. Yeah, like the bells in churches change, every moment. The website will update you on the slightest. At the tower at Thacum, the 200-weight bell has now got an extra ounce of spider's web. So it's handy that we've got there. What we need is webcams in the belfries so that you can see the bells, so that as they swing and the clapper clangs, we could watch all that lovely sordid detail. Wouldn't that be lovely? And you'd need an extra bit of light in there, and open the Louvre doors would be good. So that would be nice. Mark Selwood says the neon sign is reasonably bright with your current lights. Yes, it's because I've gelled it down, you see. I've had to gel it down. And with an ND filter, I'll be gelling it some more. If Mark's coming over, then I'm coming down. Yes, there we are. Mark's coming up from, where does he live? Cornwall. Down there. It's beautiful, isn't it, Richard? It is beautiful down there in Cornwall, Mark. You're quite right. And Cumbria, from up north, Robert was going to come down. So that will be great. There'll be the great clash of the nether sides of England. And I'll be there in the middle, having to cope with it all, which would be good. Darren Robert Dendy says, breaking news. Oh, here we go. Breaking news. Yes, what is it, Robert? What is the breaking news? The breaking news. Brown paper bag Joe of the old Wild West has been arrested for rustling. Ah, has he? Well, at least he didn't go around biting outside the embassy, as one of our politicians' sons apparently has been arrested for biting outside. I can't remember which embassy it was. The European embassy, well, some embassy anyway. It was outside an embassy and bit a policeman, no less. Yes, heard that. If you know who that is, you can have a wry smile on your face. It's always good fun. Oh, Oswestry. Yes, Oswestry. Very nice in Oswestry. You've got your own Mott and Bailey Castle up there in Oswestry. And you've got next to it Old Oswestry, which is the old Iron Age hill fort, which is very nice. I've been to Oswestry quite a few times. What else can I tell you about? There's some nice Victorian buildings in Oswestry. You've got Oswald, the what do you call it? The spring in Oswald, haven't you? Where I can't remember what bird it was, some carrion or pigeon or I don't know, pterodactyl, managed to grab hold of Oswald when he'd been hacked to bits by the Mercian, I think it was Mercian tribe or something. They'd got hold of the St. Oswald breastbone or something, or kneecap, or probably his funny bone. It was in a funny state when it got hold of it. And then where it dropped onto the ground, that's where the spring sprang up. So, yeah, Oswestry's very nice. Ludlow, like Bloodlow. Yes, it is. You've got the river that goes around it, haven't you? I forget what the river is called, but it's got a name, and it flows freely, so I'm told. Mark Selwood said, we saw your lips moving, Richard. Yes, they do move occasionally. It's getting them to stop. That is the problem. That is the big problem, I can tell you. Robert Croser says, and his hands are like Magnus Pike. Oh, yes, Magnus Pike. His hands were too loud for the deaf. Used to love Magnus Pike. Half a league. What is it they used to say? Not half a league, half a league, half a league onward. It was Into the Valley of Death. No, hang on. What's the one with the... I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high and vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the tree, they rustle, soft as babies. And something like Magnus Pike with rabies. Oh, I cocked that right up. We'll just rewind anyway, it doesn't matter. Linda Kane, all along from Cornwall, that would be nice. The northern invasion from the north with Robert coming down. That would be fantastic. Dean Cooper says he likes Cornwall. Glenn Johnson says, I've never been outside. I've never been bitten outside an embassy. It's worth it, especially number 7. If you get bitten outside embassy number 7, you're in tobacco territory. Andrew Norris. Hi, gang. Late in logging in. Andrew Norris. I have this. Been waiting for you to show up, mister. Logged in. This was given to me, ladies and gentlemen. This is something called Cullen. What they do in Croatia. Andrew Norris is living currently in Croatia. And what they do, apart from dropping it on the keyboard and... We're still live. That was lucky. Couldn't nearly turn it off. But unfortunately, the webcam has had a severe problem. It's moved. Hang on, let's just fix the webcam up there. Bing! And now we got the tops of their heads. That's no good. Let's just get... We can't do that. Are you all right, kids?
Yeah, we're fine, thanks. We're hunky-dory, ain't we, darling?
Yeah, that's right. We're swell, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean there, darling. Hey, you've got purple hair, but on the webcam it looks blue.
Yeah, that's because I've been gelled up by that silly Vobes bloke. How he does it, I don't know.
I don't know neither, baby.
It's all a bit crazy. Anyway, so this Cullen, what they do in Croatia is those Brits that come over and then sort of live over in Croatia and make it their second home. They slice them all up, mash them together, have a big cull in, and then they squeeze them together and they make a torpedo. And we've got a meat torpedo here, which I'm going to try out on the show in a moment. So don't go away for that. Nice to have you with us. What else has we got on there? Linda Kane says Magnus Pike, the Great Egg Race. There we go. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Andrew Norris says it's not Cullen. It's pronounced Coolen. Well, if only they bloody well spell it correctly, then we would have had a chance. You know, don't put your words into the wrong thing and expect an idiot like me to get it right. So there it's Coolen. Well, it's I haven't warmed it up, so it must be a cool one. That's what I reckon it is. So there we go. What else have we got? If, says Bellringer. Like God Dal Ming or God El Ming. What is he on about? Same pronunciation. Okay, fair dues. Right, I think before we get to there, we better find out what the one and only Nigel Sadler is up to today. He's sent in a little bit of video, so let's have a look what Nigel Sadler is up to.
Hello, this is Nigel, once again doing a short insert for the Vobes show. This time as I walk in to work here in Tonbridge, in this bright, sunny, crisp morning, dazzling sun as you can see. Looking over the cricket pitch to the side of me, and the rugby pitch behind me here at Tonbridge School, and hopefully it's going to be a good day. The weather looks fantastic, crisp and sharp. Catch you all later. Bye.
There we are. How about that? The wonderful Nigel Sadler on his way to work. We do encourage you to send in a little 30-second to a minute little vlog of what you're up to. We want to keep everybody up to date, you see, because it's nice having the text and this interaction thing going on, but it would be great if we could get you just to, you know, do a little bit and go, hello, it's so-and-so here. I'm up a ladder, about to fall off. Or, hello, I've just bitten a policeman outside the embassy and now I'm being arrested. Whatever it is you're up to. If you can send it to me at 720p, if that means anything to you, it makes life so much easier. Send it by wetransfer.com to richard@vobes.com. I'll put all the information in invisible lettering above my head. Can you see it? WeTransfer.com is a service that will transfer the data files. It's very efficient and it's free, and the video files, and send it to me, richard@vobes.com. I'll get all this typed up eventually, you know, when I get my finger out. But now it's time to try the cool one. I have here a razor-sharp knife, ladies and gentlemen. This has been sharpened on Robert Croser's knee. So he's hobbling back to the hospital to have it sewn on, but we know this works, so that's handy. So first thing we have to do, obviously, oh my goodness, oh my God, it woofs, doesn't it woof? What a pong. I did ask, here it is, look at that. Now he assures me this is edible, and not something that he went to the gents and fished out of a small circular telephone. No, this I think this is second sniff, actually. It's very spicy. It is very spicy. Now, in order to do this properly, I have a little spy hole here. I have to be careful which eye I put that up to, because if I do it on that eye, I can't see a thing, you see, so I have to do it on that eye. And just for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to now change to the close-up camera. We have a third camera in here, close-up camera. Look at that. See, all specially prepared in this show. There's no mucking about at all. The background noise of the leaf blowers clearing the leaves, says Nigel Sadler. Oh, is that what it was? I thought you were blowing off. Mark Selwood's saying something. Kevin, he's had a shave. Wilf Luns says, I don't know what that's. Lovely Julia. When you hit enter on the message, it already had 40 seconds or more. Can he potentially see it due to the cozy? What? Nigel says, I'm wearing it at the moment. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, right. So here's the close-up camera. There it is. Look at this. Feast your eyes on that, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to take a little slice. Let's chop the end off, shall we? Now, here we go. Oh, that's a bit naughty. And there, as you can see, it's sort of like a salami, isn't it? Is it the chorizo that they have in Spain? Chorizo? Chorizo cenizo. I'm just going to very carefully chop my arm off. You've just got to be so careful. Ow! So careful. And here, ladies, you don't eat this? Does the skin come off? Do you eat the skin? Do you have to peel that off? It's got this plastic round it. Look at this. There's a little silence here as I was just pulling the plastic off. I imagine you can eat that. I don't know, but it is plastic. I heard that the whale in wherever it was it in the Thames or somewhere? I haven't got a. It's all sticky. I didn't bring a. Have we got a? Excuse me. Have you got a cloth?
No.
I'll have to use my sock. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Vobes sock there. There's the Vobes foot that the sock was on. I haven't got a tea towel, you see, so I'll just using my sock. Right, let's try this. It's very rubbery. Just waiting for the flavour to come through. You can peel the skin if you wish. I have. when you say the skin, that's plastic, isn't it? Looks more like a bread knife to me. Yeah, it is a bread knife. Eat it. I'm eating it, Linda. I'm eating it. Glenn Johnson, can everyone press pause? I'm off to the fridge. Oh. We had a bit of a dull moment then. Gosh and dash, does it need cooking? Oh, crikey. Does it need cooking? I hope I'm not eating it raw. No, I don't think it's raw. It's, at first you just think you're eating rubber. I'll give you that. Very nice rubber. It's sort of like Michelin stars. And then, slowly, you start getting the taste of I'm not sure what the taste is, but it starts to get hot in the back of your throat, which is actually quite good because I've got a bit of a sore throat. Maybe you need to cook it. Andrew, do we need to cook it? Does it taste better in cook it? No, he says, no, you don't need to cook it. But I imagine if you put it into a soup, would the flavours flood out and flavour the soup in a nice spicy way, would it? Aye, would it? That's very nice. It's very unusual. Thank you very much. I'll enjoy eating that. What would you recommend it would go with? What would you put that with? A bit of cheese, a bit of this funny salami, a side salad. Would you put it in that? Would you put it on a pizza? Would you roast it with a nice pepper, something like that? I just need to. It's very nice. Thank you very much. Delicious. Get rid of all that junk. Oh yeah. Anyway, moving on. Nigel says, I've got some of your handkerchiefs here. What? I've got one of your handkerchiefs in Tunbridge. You left it after your visit. Where did I leave that? No wonder I was looking for it. I've only got one handkerchief. Could you mail it to me? Send it in the post. Wash it first, if you wouldn't mind. Iron it. And if you could monograph it with my initials, that would be fantastic. Or you can keep it as a souvenir of my visit. I'm sure I can... Sorry, I'm feeling repulsively sick for the moment. I may have to throw up in a small bucket. Robert Croser says, Billy gave him that knife, Mark. Oh, did he? Yeah. Dean Cooper says, you want cheese with that. Well, would that be nice? Cheese with a bit of it? No, it doesn't need cooking, says Andrew, a second time, or third time, or fourth time. It just needs binning, says Robert Croser. That's not very nice. Red wine. Cheese, yes. Pizza. Eat as you would a salami. I tend not to eat salami, to be honest with you. But could you put that in, I'm just thinking, could you put that in, what's that, bolognese? You know, put it in a bolognese, chop it up finely, cook it in with a bolognese as part of the sauce, a bit of a chunky bolognese. I've said bolognese several times now. What else could you put that in? With spaghetti and bolognese, which would be nice. Or ravioli with a bit of bolognese. Or mayonnaise if you haven't got the bol. If you've run out of bol, use the may. That's what I say. Mark Selwood is gabbling. He says, just needs to get rid of the taste. That's what you're saying, Richard. Yes, that's it. It's a very pleasant. On Friday's show, the lovely Julia is here, and she has managed to find some of these. And we're going to taste those on the show, assuming I haven't eaten them all. Here's a close-up of it. There we are. Look at that. Luxury Belgium nugget. That looks nice, doesn't it? That's what we're going to be doing on the show on Friday. Now, also, I want to show you this. This is the Chichester Ship Canal. Careful how you say that. Chichester Ship Canal. because some people do make the mistake and say Chichester Ship Canal, and it really isn't canal, it is canal. So just be careful how you say that. This is a postcard, and it says, "Hi, had this on my shelf, thought you'd like it, maybe a source for videos." And I thought, yes, there's nothing better than getting, a bit of tomato or daddy's sauce or something like that and pouring it over videos. But this could be its own sauce. So I tried putting this on a video, and to be honest with you, it's just a bit of card with a picture on the front. But then I delved deeper, ladies and gentlemen, into the envelope in which that arrived, and stiffening the envelope was a book. And here is the book from the lovely Linda Kane. Linda, thank you so much. I did send you an email, hope you got it, to say thank you very much. The Lost Churches and Chapels of Sussex. And here is a closer version of it, in case you didn't see the first version. By a chap called Alex Vincent, and he is Vincent van Gogh's friend, allegedly, but I can't say that is for sure. So there's lots of interesting things. So one of them, I've just opened it up here. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on. That's Duncton. That'll be St Mary's, I bet. The missing church at St Mary's, which I've actually already made a video of. Let's have a look. The old church dedicated to St Mary at Duncton was pulled down by a bald bloke in glasses in 1976. He was desperately trying to get a television programme, but nobody would have him. So in a fit of temper, he pulled the church... What is this on about? The site today is a dip where the church stood. It's very nice dip, especially with croutons. You can have it with soup as well. Oh, the church at Duncton was mentioned in the Doomsday Book. Yes, a lot of people get mentioned in the Doomsday Book. I'm hoping that one day I'll get mentioned in the Doomsday Book. A lot of people have OBEs. I've already got an OBE. That's how I spell my name. I just put a V in front of it. V-O-B-E, Order of the British Empire, or as my dad likes to say, I used to say, because obviously he's up in Snuffed It land, Old Brown Elephant. So that's quite interesting. There are other churches in here which are no longer there. There's somewhere called Bargham. Here we are. This is. I think this must be. Where is it? Hang on. Bargham. I'm going to call it Bargham. Bargham. It's near Horsham. Bargham, of course, is one of those in the Far East, where what do you play? That the joke is going, it's waning now. I can't get to it. I'm trying to think of Baghdad and all that. Bargham is near Baghdad. You have a bit of argy-bargy up in... No, it doesn't matter. The site of the church at Bargham, it says here in black and white, in letters, in an orderly fashion, starting at the left and going to the right, is situated in a field west of Upper Barpham Farm. Oh, right, I think I may have done some of this. 4 miles north of Angmering. The church consisted of an early Saxon nave and chancel and in the late Saxon period, north and south transepts were added. Fancy. Yeah. These transepts were given an asp, and the asp bit him on the bum. Sorry, an apse. It's very easy to do that when you look at the word apse and say asp, but you'd be wrong, because an asp is something that Cleopatra was very fond of, and a lot of other people were fond of her ass. But never mind that. Anyway, thank you so much, Linda. That's very kind of you. It's definitely a book for somebody like me. There's one here that you could go to, and that's Or somewhere else. Oh, no, that's Or. The parish church at Or. O-R-E. You just need a G in there, and it could be Ogre, couldn't it? The parish church of Ogre. Fee-fi-fo-fum, I smell the blood of the bold explorer. Yes. Near Hastings, dedicated to St. Helen, was built in the Saxon or early... Well, make your mind up. In the Saxon or early Norman period. The tower was added in the late 12th and 13th century. A south aisle was added in the 18th century. The church was altered during the medieval period. In the north wall in the nave is a window 9 inches, which gives us... And on the third, there's a little shelf and a box of matches. On the box of matches is carved... There's an old fag butt, the gardener, that Dave the Grave apparently used to use many, many years... Anyway, enough of this gay banter. It's all good fun and just ready for Santa. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Glenn's on the red wine. Cheese. Oh, yes, we've got all that. Mark Selwood just needs to get rid of the tape. Oh, yes, we've done all that. I thought you'd have been tapping away like 9 pins. Linda Kane says just north of Angmering. Yes, okay. Missed a bit. I'm back now, says the lovely Julia. Oh, you missed the best bit, Julia. You really missed the best bit. Didn't we think that? Hands up if it was the best bit. Mark Selwood says, darn. It has pages too. Yes, it's a book with pages. They're very useful, those pages. They come and they give you things. They take things away. They're useful at weddings as well. Everybody likes a nice page boy or something, don't they? Francis Bellring says, I'm back, but possibly not for long. Well, I'm sure you're back to front most of the time. Mark says something else. Well, I've already read that out. He says, a screenshot of the front of the book. Don't need to buy it for the front cover. Very sneaky. What do you mean, a screenshot? What's he on about? Linda Kane has put lots of hands up. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for sending me the book. That's very kind of you. There's lots of question marks. Bellring says, I'm doing maths. Okay, let's give us a maths problem, Francesco. Give us one of your maths homework. We'll see if we can solve it for you. All of us together, we will help you out, okay? So type in the question, whatever it is, we will see what level, what level of intelligence that we have between us. So type that out. He says, here we go. He's doing it already. I have a triangle with a right angle. I know the area of 2 sides, but I need to work out the height of the longest side. So hang on, this is a bit of geometry, isn't it? Let's see if we can work this out. I have a triangle with a right angle, right? So it's an isosceles triangle, is it? And I know the area. Is it an isosceles triangle or is an isosceles triangle the triangle of 45 degrees each, where 3 sides don't? Isosceles. Hang on. Isosages. Not quite the same, is it? Isosages, isosceles. Right, I need to know the area. I need to know the area and I need to know the area and 2 sides, but I need to work out the length of the long. Well, you've got to give us some length, otherwise we can't tell you what the area is. How long is the triangle with the right angle? I mean, is it 50 foot? Is it 20 inches? And what are you doing with this triangle? Glenn Johnson's Vobism missed the best bit. Yeah, there we go. Linda says it's an equilateral triangle. It's 90 degrees there. They can't all be 90, can they? No, the others must be 45 degrees each. Or they add up to 45. Because if you've got 90 there, and the triangle is 180, isn't it? Robert says, do you add... Here we are. We're all as thick as anything here. Do you add both the other sides together and then divide by 2? Think of a number... Then forget the number, then add another number, take the first number you didn't think of, multiply it by how many milk bottles are outside your front doorstep, and then hand that in as your homework. That usually works quite well. Pythagoras' theory. Here we go. What was Pythagoras' theory? Pythagoras' theory was don't run the bath and shout, Eureka, Eureka, down the road, because, what's his face? Oh, I had his name then. It's gone. The other bloke has already done that. Who was the one that the isosceles? Not isosceles. No, he's not a bloke, is he? Isosceles. Claudius. No, not Claudius. Who was the one who did the Eureka moment? I had it. Pythagoras. No, I've just said you said Pythagoras. Who was the one who discovered the displacement of water by getting into the bath a little bit late? Don't say it was Adolf Hitler. It wasn't him. He was good at the displacement of people, not water. Who was the other one? The one that had the apple on his head. William Tell. There we go. We come right back to the beginning. Hi ho, Silver. Away. Yes, Kimmo Savvy. It's all in the show here, you know. We're beginning to get all those strands that we put out, and we're beginning to get them all back in the box, which is really what the show is all about. Here we go. Here's another one. A is equal to 210 centimeters squared. Is it? Now we know what A is. What's B? Francesco says base B C1 equal to 21. Nice, very nice. And the long side of the left. Okay, that's enough. Pack it in now. Just write any old numbers. The teachers don't actually mark the books. Little secret: the teachers don't mark the book. They have a machine now that prints handwriting, and it usually just says, yeah, very good, you did well on that. I think you should work harder next time, and please don't talk to the lad next to you in the class. That's probably all that they write, if they write anything at all. Jeff Kellerson says, I have to duck out and help them unload 41,000 pounds of gin. And he's not joking. He told me about the gin. Good luck with that. By the way, if any of that gin happens to get onto one of those boats heading towards Blighty, let me know. I'll go and pick it up from customs. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. I'm not saying anything. Could be taken on holiday, but probably won't. The lovely Julia says, I detest having to do mathematics. Exactly, I detest it myself. I don't know, I'll work it out later. Well done, Francesco. That you ring the changes on the nearest bell tower in Italy if you get the chance. Andy Dalgleish says, Eurofades trousers, you men's dress trousers, these trousers, Eurofades. Yes, very good. Lovely Julia says, anything more than daily maths, I mean. Archimedes, yes, he of the do it DIY, didn't he? He invented the screw, didn't he? He was the man behind the Black and Decker, if I remember rightly. Archimedes. He invented the screw, and then he said, "God, blimey, arc at these Medes, with his Medes eyes, beady. Oh, never mind." Francesca's desperately trying to get us to do the homework. The answer is 70. You'll be all pleased to know it's 70 centimetres. Who works in centimetres? Most people work in millimetres now. I still work in pounds and ounces. Here's a question for you. Francesco says 69 plus 1 is one position too many. Yeah, but let's not go down that road. Glenn Johnson says trigonometry needs to be recalled. Yes, that's right. Didn't do a very good job to begin with, if you ask me. It was all a bit trigger happy. Yeah. Do you remember trigger happy on the thing? Hello! Hello! Do you remember that series with whatever the bloke's name? I can't remember his name now. Sometimes he was funny. Sometimes, a bit like me, not so funny. So there we are. What are we doing on the time front, by the way, ladies and gentlemen? I feel like it's the end of the show. Is it the end of the show? Is that saying 58 or 53? I can't see with these glasses. 9:58. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the end of the show. Is there anything I should have done? Oh, we've still got the worldwide quiz. Let's have a quick look at that. Here we are, the amazing Where in the World quiz. Let's just do one of these whilst we've got a moment. Here we go. I'll just quickly shuffle the deck. Shuffle the deck, shuffle the deck. That's what they did to the Titanic, didn't they? And look what happened. It went down, didn't it? When they shuffled the deck. Right, this one is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. And here is the question. This region is... Oh, I've just told you the answer, haven't I? Stupid man. Okay. So where in the world... is right, I've got one here. Let me read this out to you. Clues. Frankenstein was written by Mary Shelley in this country. Do you know which country it was? Clue number 2, to help you with this, it has 4 official languages, including Roman shush. And 3, its Roman name, which appears on its stamps, is Helvetica. But do you know where it is? You'll be very clever if you do. That's a very difficult one. Where is it, actually? I could have looked at that. Oh, yeah, that one. I could have given you better clues than that. Robert Croser is saying Italy. No, you're wrong there. Robert Baxter, Switzerland. Well done. Switzerland. It's on the back of that. Okay, let's have another one. One last one before the end of the show. This is a nice one. I like the name of this. Only this time, I'm not actually going to show you what it says on the front. I'm going to read this out by showing you here. A French colony. Can't quite read that. Here we go. A French colony until 1896. The Republic gained independence in 1960. That's the first clue. Where in the world is this? The capital city is Antananarivo or something. Antananarivo. Antananarivo. Yeah. The main language is Malagasy. So where could that be? And if anyone knows how to... Peckham, says Glenn Johnson. Very close. Bognor, yes. Greece, no, not Greece. Hush Money, Algeria, says Robert Crosat. Well, no, we don't care really, do we? It's Madagascar, yes. And you know why they're completely mad there? Because they've blown a gasket at Madagascar. That's why they're mad at gasket. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, hang on. I'll go back to the proper camera. Thanks to Andrew Norris for the lovely nosh-up, which was lovely. We'll just say goodbye to our the children. Go back to the webcam, which has been dutifully sat there all this time, and see what the children have got to say.
Yeah, it's great here, lovely Julia person. It's really, really cool. I've enjoyed the show. What's that cameraman doing? Yeah, it's going all over the place. Can he not just hold that? What are you doing with the camera, boy? Hey, you.
Hey, I don't like it. I think we're going to have to go, because he can't quite get this to get... That's better. Oh, that's got my best side. Oh, yeah. I might just need a warm hat to say goodbye to the folks. There we go. I got my warm hat. Maybe you could pan up. There we are. Look at that. That's a warm hat. Well, that's it.
Yeah, it's good, babe. I think you look great in that with your blue hair.
It's purple hair.
Yeah, I know, but the camera makes it look blue. That's because it's so damn cold in here.
Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's the children done and dusted. They'll be being put to bed a bit later on. I should be tying some very heavy stones to them and chucking them in the Arun. So that's what you do with children these days if they don't go to sleep. The Hush Money at Madagascar, says Andy Dalglish, spelling it absolutely right. Dean Cooper says Italy. We've gone past all that. Ramy Boo says, well, geez, gosh, I've really missed it. Ramy Boo, Lisa, you're just too late. I'm so soggy. That's mainly because I'm sitting in a puddle of something you don't want to know about. But no, we're just coming to the end of the show, which is a bit of a shame. Linda Kane says night. Oh, lovely Julia says this. It's a bit of a sad thing, but hey-ho. Gosh and Dash have got to Dash and Gosh. So thanks for finding us in Shropshire there in Oswestry. How lucky you are. Stephen must go himself and says good night to us. And hello, sweet Julia. Julia, by the way, Lisa absolutely loves that blanket you made. It's so perfect. And, of course, little Joseph is wearing the unicorn hat all the time. I can vouch for that. Mark Sewer says, I particularly like the woolen likeness. Very excitable. There we are. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I must go and dust down the duster. And I will catch up with you on Friday when the lovely Julia will be sitting here next to me. And I may even force feed her some of this big sausage. I know Andrew was itching to get us to taste it, and we will maybe taste it. I may have gobbled it up by then, but there we are. So until the next time, thank you so much for watching. He says, trying to find where the end bit is. There it is. It's been great fun. Look after yourself, and we'll see you at the end of the week. Until then, check out the Bald Explorer tomorrow in Purbright, but from me here in Vobland looking well right. Ta-ta! Ta-ta! Bye-bye!